The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good Tuesday morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Time with Blind United. Of course, I'm Ed, and we have Brittany with us this morning. Good morning, Britt.
Good morning, everybody.
And, of course, we got our loyal participant, Miss Carol from Dallas. How you doing, Miss Carol?
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. Well, we got one interest group for today, and that would be George Zavala, Tips and Tricks with Jaws. George he's amazing when it comes to Jaws. He's that guy that likes to figure out different easy ways to do a lot of different stuff. So
I thought it was comedy hour with George, but we're teaching, we're learning Jaws, huh?
You're right. He's a funny
well,
one.
It depends on how it goes. It could be comedy hour, that's for sure. He always keeps it, interesting as well. So, but no, I mean, George is good. He can come in. He has always something new, some new tip, trick, shortcut, whatever, to help us use our jaws or whatever again. But just like with Andy, if there's a specific issue that you're having, he's more than help you work through that so we can get that barrier out of your way and you can continue doing what you need to do. So join us tonight. That will be 6 p.m. Pacific time and 7 p.m. Mountain time where he is. And then Miss Carol, I guess that'd be 8 o'clock for you, right?
Yes, sir. 8 o'clock my time.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging out late and doing this kind of stuff with us. So, but again, George is he's the man when it comes to Jaws, So did either one of y'all get a chance to check out George's Let's Talk Stuff podcast last night?
I did. I really enjoyed that. You guys talked about politics. I mean, it's stuff that really needed to be talked about, but if you want to see a different side of George and Ed, check out Let's Talk Stuff. Apparently, wow, okay. But it was great. I enjoyed it.
Well, I mean, and my thing is, here, Coffee Time, this is Blind United. I'm kind of reserved here. I mean, I'm always going to be who I am, but because I'm representing Blind United over here, I'm going to try to keep it toned down and not, I mean, even though we had a disclaimer up front, I'm not trying to give anybody a bad impression of, Blind United. So, but George is over there. I was allowed to be First Amendment Ed, and man, it felt good.
I bet it did. To just speak your voice.
Speak my mind about stuff, and again, it's my opinion. Nobody has to agree with my opinion, and I don't want people to take anything I say as absolute truth. I mean, man, go fact check what I say. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong. But until somebody shows me I'm wrong, I'm going to stand on what I say, So But yeah, it was a lot of fun doing that with him. Been trying to encourage him to do this for quite some time. I mean, we tried a little bit. When I first met George, he was doing a little bit of podcasting here and there, and he just, I don't know, the brother's got so much stuff going on that it's just hard for him to, to commit to doing something on a regular basis.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And he puts a lot of time and effort into his podcasts, and he's very much into sound quality. And so I could see why he wouldn't want to do it unless he can commit to really doing a good job with it.
Well, I think I got him to commit to doing it at least once a week, which is okay. I'm fine with that, so hopefully that'll stand true and we'll start doing it. I think he's talking about possibly doing it on Sundays, so we'll see how it works out as we move forward, so, but I enjoy doing stuff like that with him. We're both, we can both be pretty, outspoken about stuff. That's what some people call it outspoken. I just call it keeping it real.
You guys just have your own opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, even though me and Carol weren't invited, but it's all good.
Well,
right, Britt.
Okay. Well, since you said you listened, what did he say within the podcast? In future episodes, he wants to do what?
I know. I'm just messing with you. Okay. I have to mess with you at least once a day. It's what I do.
Okay. But no, he wants to bring Pedro and Brittany and a few other folks on, and again, he doesn't want just my opinion, his opinion. He wants a variety of opinions, again, we all have our own opinion, so he wants to hear what they are, because you never know who's going to agree with you and disagree with me or whatever the case may be. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun doing that. So, but other than that, just dealing with this heat out here. I know you said it's hot out there. Where you at, Carol? How has it been the last few days?
100 degrees with the index. It's about 109.
Okay, well, you got us by a few degrees. Like I said, I don't know what, Thursday, Friday, Britt, we started hitting 100, and we've been 100 every day since.
Yeah, we've been 100 every day since.
At least 100, I should say.
At least 100.
I mean, it's generally a little bit hotter up there where Brittany's at than it is down there where I am. Maybe 3-4 degrees at least, somewhere in there. But again, we do live in the desert. Brittany lives in the high desert. Well, they say all of California is a desert, but
right.
I don't know. We still got a lot of palm trees and grass and lush mountains, and I don't know how all that can be counted as desert, but I guess maybe all the flatlands are considered to be desert. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know how they figure any of that stuff out. So, but
and Monica also said that Pedro was sad that he wasn't invited on George's podcast. So even though we did hear at the end that we are invited to come on, so that makes us feel a little bit better.
Well, again, I'm trying to push him to do that a little bit more regular. Just somewhere we can go and express our feelings about certain things, give an opinion that is not reflective of any particular organization. You know what I'm saying? So
let your hair down.
I mean, hey, why not? We was turning it up on Friday, and Saturday. Now George gave us an opportunity to just vent about some stuff. So that was cool. But I mean, we even talked about the Neuralink. You know what that is, Carol?
No, I don't.
Well, Neuralink is something that Elon Musk is doing. He's created this chip that they implant into your brain. And I mean, there's a lot of potential for this thing being, to do good, but there's also a lot of potential in there, to do bad. As an example, I mean, the good side of it is, within the article we started off with, gentleman he's quadriplegic. And so they have implanted this chip, and, everything we do starts with a thought, right?
Of course.
So within that thought, there, you're firing off what they call it, neuron
Neurons.
within the
Hmm.
brain, right?
Right.
So even though it sounded crazy to me, so okay, if you want to move the mouse, then okay, you think move my left hand, and that's somehow supposed to translate into the cursor moving. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, if it's a thought, then how come you can't just think move the cursor?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know, but but our bottom line, the goal here is giving this man access to be able to use his computer, even though he can't, type or anything like that, right?
Now,
So,
wasn't that something similar to what was that Superman that had fell off the horse and was paralyzed from the neck down?
yeah, he was quadriplegic as well.
Yes, and they were kind of trying to develop something that would allow him to be able to communicate with his
Right.
voice. And
Well,
okay,
no, well, he could talk. That's the crazy part about it is these people can talk. It's just that
okay,
they have no motor function.
gotcha. They can't move their arms, legs, or what have you.
Right. They just basically paralyzed from the waist down or the neck
Okay,
down.
okay.
Yeah, so but on the bad side of this is they're also experimenting with this same chip in pigs.
Mm,
Okay, so now let's just say the pig is sitting there, feeding in the trough or whatever, right?
right.
Which is a natural function. Well, these scientists are testing the chip. They make the pig raise up his hind leg like he's getting ready to, urinate.
Okay,
So they're controlling the pig's body.
with this chip,
Right. So there's the bad side. So why are you trying to control somebody?
of course.
If you put this chip in me with the pretense
Yeah,
of,
I'm not down with them experimenting on animals. I am not okay with that.
well, I mean, no, I'm not even concerned with the animal part right now. What I'm concerned with is if you have the ability, you put it in me under the pretense of helping me, but now you have the ability to control me.
Right.
No, I
What's
get that.
what's going to keep you from, I hate to go here and putting me back out in the cotton field somewhere.
Right.
I mean, you now have control over me. I might know I'm in the cotton field. I might know that I'm, picking cotton or whatever, but do I want to be there? No, I don't want to be there. But because of the ability you have to control me, now I have no choice. So I mean, that's the dark side of this. So
Of course.
hopefully, that just like with anything else, there's a good and a bad side, and hopefully that within the development of this, that they will also have some guidelines and regulations and stuff like that. Why is it always the super rich folks that want to create some stuff under the pretense of helping people, but ultimately have the ability to control people?
Interesting.
Very interesting. So,
Hmm.
but anyway, that's what got our conversation going last night. I mean, interesting stuff. I mean, again, I can see where maybe down the line it could help us. Where it could tap into our visual cortex and maybe kind of work in the opposite way to where we're wearing some sort of a wearable that is taking the visual thing going on around us and translating that into neurons to our brain rather than from our brain, if that makes sense.
It does. It would be a great concept if that were possible.
I mean, I don't mind walking around looking like Jody with that chrome thing with the gold center in it.
From Star Trek, right?
Yeah. I walk around one of the things on if I can see again. I don't care,
Right. Those were
but
cool. It looked cool on him. It was a neat device.
well, so, but again, I would do that, but at the same time, no, I don't want you taking control of my body. Leave me alone. Just, help me out and then leave me alone. Don't take away my free will. So, but anyway, yeah, that's what got our conversation going. So, Let me move into some of these. Well, I'll get these commercials out the way first.
Before you do your commercials, well, while you're doing that, I'm just going to say that Paul, Corinne, and Monica said good morning. So good morning.
Good
guys.
morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Thank you all for joining us this morning. So I'm going to get some Brittany's piece out of the way and move on to some other stuff before I get to the first article.
Let's get ready.
That's not the right one.
No, it's not.
I was ready to dance again.
I know. I was like, all right, let's get ready to rumble, guys.
Well, no, it was sitting on the social media one, but it played the intro. So here we go.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Feeling lucky? Join Blind United for a thrilling day at Viejas Casino and Resort. Slaw Machine. Mark your calendars for Friday, August 9th. We're rolling out from 2 locations, Montclair and Buena Park at 9 a.m. sharp, so don't be late. For just $21, you can enjoy a ride filled with fun, refreshments, and the chance to win big. Remember, space is limited, and the deadline for your payment is July 20th. All bookings are non-refundable after July 20th. Bring your poker face and your ID and get ready for a day of excitement and entertainment. No worries about the drive. We've got you covered. You can just relax there and back. Book your spot now. Contact Cheryl at 909-821-9589, C Thurston74@gmail.com, or Pedro at 323-631-2122, P Aguilera at blindunited.org. Let's hit the jackpot together. You can sell your payments to Blind United Incorporated by using the email blindunited2022@gmail.com.
So as you guys were listening to that, you heard that we actually have 2 buses going, one from Buena Park, and then we have another one leaving from Montclair. So in essence, we're kind of covering 3 counties within this with the 2 buses. So with all that being said, if you are interested in getting on the bus down in Buena Park, then you would contact Pedro. If you are interested in boarding the bus in Montclair, then you would contact Cheryl Thurston. So just so you understand the commercial, why there's 2 contacts, because there's 2 different buses. So, but anyway, yeah, come on, hang out with us. It's a nice thing down there. I enjoy going down there. You know, the casino's really nice. They got an outlet mall across the street. A lot of brand, labels and, designer labels and stuff out over there. So, I mean, if gambling's your thing, you spend all your time in the casino. I mean, we need you to spend at least, $20 in the casino anyway. But, I mean, beyond that, if you like gambling, stay in the casino. If you want to put your money into material things in a designer shopping bag, then come on, let's go over to the outlet mall and pick you up some items.
And if you'd like to fund Brittany's newest designer bag, you can email ed at blindunited.org.
Okay, you forget you have an email now, Brett. Oh, you don't want to put that out there, right?
Crickets.
Well, and on that note, we don't need anybody thinking that we're soliciting money to buy Brittany bags.
No, we're not.
I mean, she's having fun with us, but again, if you want to buy Brittany a bag, well, come on and book a seat and get on the bus. And, You can ride along with her, and then she can take you over to the store where she wants to get that bag. So
Prada, Gucci.
Right. We're gonna keep Blind United out of the purchase. So, but anyway, so let me get into this article. This one here is one we've had for a minute. It's about a new kind of battery. It's supposed to help with saving the planet, I guess. So let's listen to what they got going on, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
A radical new magnet without rare earth metals is about to change motors forever. I created it in just 3 months, and the implications are staggering. For society to transition to an electrified world, many technologies, like EV motors and electric grid batteries, will need to gain prominence. And many of those technologies require rare earth metals, which can be costly in terms of both money and environmental and societal degradation. A UK-based company announced last week that they'd successfully developed, in just 3 months, a magnet that doesn't use rare earth metals at all using AI. According to the company, that's roughly 200 times faster than normal. AI is already being leveraged to discover materials in other crucial areas of the green energy transition, showcasing that artificial intelligence can be a powerful ally in the battle against climate change. It's no secret that the world needs to transition away from fossil fuels, and quickly. One of the big concerns surrounding humanity's breakneck green energy transition is that the electric motors and electric batteries that will power that future need rare earth metals. And getting those metals can be disastrous on both environmental and societal levels. For these reasons, as well their overall priciness and scarcity, automakers like Tesla are actively searching for alternative materials to power their growing fleet of EVs. Simply put, humans don't have enough time to research alternative materials for our green energy future. But luckily, artificial intelligence lives life in the fast lane. A UK tech company called Materials Nexus recently announced, with the help of its AI platform, they developed a magnet that's completely free of rare earth metals. While this isn't the first such device, other companies have also created clean earth magnets. They did so after about a decade of trial and error. According to Materials Nexus press release, the company's AI platform took only 3 months to design its rare earth metal-free creation, Magnex. The current industry standard permanent magnet took decades to discover and even longer to develop into the products we use today. Magnex took just 3 months to design, synthesize, and test. X200 faster, the press statement reads. Magnex can be produced at 20% of the material cost and a 70% reduction in material carbon emissions, kg/kg, compared to rare earth element magnets currently on the market. Materials Nexus worked with the Henry Royce Institute, a UK national institute, and the University of Sheffield to synthesize and test the magnet. The company said that a similar AI design approach could also revolutionize other facets of the green energy transition, including the design of semiconductors and superconductors. This seems more than possible, as only days before the reveal of Magnex, scientists from the UK and Japan successfully created an iron-based superconducting magnet using artificial intelligence. While the arrival of capable artificial intelligence brings with it much-deserved skepticism, as well as job security-induced anxiety, AI is particularly suited to be revolutionary in the field of materials science. According to the Materials Project, an open-source database meant to help support research into new materials, humans discovered 20,000 materials through experimentation, a number that was up to 48,000 thanks to the dawn of computing, of the green energy transition, including the design of semiconductors and superconductors. This seems more than possible, as only days before the reveal of Magnex, scientists from the UK and Japan successfully created an iron-based superconducting magnet using artificial intelligence. In late 2023, researchers at the Google-owned DeepMind reported in the journal Nature that its graph networks for materials exploration, GNOME, used those 48,000 materials to dream up an additional 2.2 million materials, 380,000 of which are considered stable and excellent candidates for synthesis. Completely transitioning the entire world from fossil fuels to electricity as soon as humanly possible isn't good enough. Luckily, we have an AI ace up our sleeve. Now back to the coffee time crew.
I mean, there's an example of AI possibly being worked for the betterment of humanity. I mean, of course, anything we can do to, in my opinion anyway, to help the environment. I mean, uh, we need to do it. I mean, I'm sorry. That's in my lifetime, I've seen a lot of different changes. I mean, this heat wave we're experiencing right now, it's way early. I mean, this we're breaking heat records every year. You know what I'm saying? If climate change isn't the cause, what is? So I mean, nobody's given that answer yet. So I mean, I'm sorry. I see the climate change in it. I've felt it. Every year it gets hotter in the summertime. It gets colder in the wintertime. I mean, you look at our storms and winter storms and stuff that happened in the Northeast. I mean, man, they're devastating at this point. So, I mean, on that note, again, this is a great thing as far as the environment is concerned. But at the same time, I mean, we need to transition from fossil fuels. We need to transition into, like you say, EVs. But in that, yeah, we need these batteries. We need batteries that are going to extend the range of an EV. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who wants to buy a car that can only go, 150, 200 miles? Okay, on the outside, 300 miles, right? Which is not bad range, but it's going to take you what, 3-4 hours to charge up when it takes you what, 5 minutes to fill up with gas.
Yeah.
That's the thing right there. Plus the charging stations. I mean, is it going to be where we're using charging stations, or is it going to be to where we're using a universal battery that can just be swapped out? You know, I mean, I don't know, but again, we need to figure something out there. You know, so I mean, I'm with it. Anything that's going to help the environment, anything that's going to help us move forward and get away from this fossil fuel thing. I mean, I'm a car enthusiast. I love cars. I love cars that go fast. I love cars that make a lot of noise. you know, uh, so do I think that we want to just outlaw fossil fuels? No, because I want to keep like our motorsports alive. I mean, I don't know. They're a lot of fun for for us car guys, I should say. So I mean, but using it in certain instances is one thing, but using fossil fuels for everyday uses, we need to step away from that. I mean, we definitely need to step away with using fossil fuels and stuff like that when it comes to producing electricity. I mean, all this other kind of stuff. I mean, it's killing our planet, y'all. I mean, and again, like I was saying earlier, these rich folks, they funding ways to get off the planet. Why they trying to leave? Because they already know. They already know that our planet is in dire straits at this point. So again, they trying to get off the planet and find somewhere else to be. So anyway, that's my take on it. What y'all think?
I mean, right now, like you're saying, it takes 5 minutes to fill up. But just finding an electric station, to charge your vehicle, it's needed with the fossil fuels. And like you were saying with the climate change, I mean, you can see that. I noticed the birds are chirping earlier, 1, 2 in the morning, or the cicadas. Normally you hear them in the evening. Now they're doing it all day long. So it's definitely something with the environment. And with all of this pollution that's going around, these air alerts where people are just having difficulty breathing, and it's just based on everything that's in the air. They need to come up with something. But 3 months, it's just amazing how they can make this battery in 3 months. But if something happens to my home based on a disaster, it's going to take longer than 3 months to get this claim processed. So it's just amazing how they can just come up with this. It's needed. I can't wait to see how it happens. And like you're saying, AI is part of it. So it's good and bad in it all.
Right. I mean, AI is there. I mean, again, it's accessing the information that's already there. So it's not like, it's actually, writing all of these journals or whatever, you know what I'm saying, papers and whatever. No, it's just accessing the information that all the scientists have accumulated and, and coming up with different alternatives, So, I mean, again, I'm with it. So where you at on all this, Britt?
Gloria said good morning, and she's been enjoying our videos.
Thank you very much, Gloria. I miss
Gloria.
you. She was the assistant Braille instructor when I was at DPI. Yeah, so she's a very, very nice lady. So I guess you didn't hear my question, Britt? Or you just don't want to answer?
I mean, I know that we need to do something. Our environment is in dire straits, and also electric cars suck, man. They take forever to charge up. I don't know if anybody's ever sat at a charging station and waited for an electric car to charge up, but it takes a while. It's very inconvenient. How are we going to convince people that we need to get these electric cars, or more people need to purchase them if it's not practical?
Right. And then, I mean, I agree. Here in California, we're, most, that's one reason why a lot of people like to leave us, because we are the strictest in the nation on emissions. And, so within the nation, I believe we do have the largest number of charging stations here. But at the same time, there's still a shortage, so. Now, as to, I've never sat in a car while it's being charged. Of course, doing Lyft and Uber and stuff like that. I've ridden in several of them, But on that note, I mean, the ride, I like the ride. I like the, the acceleration. I mean, it's just the performance of the car and all that. The only, bad point that I've found so far is that charging problem, So if this is also going to be something that's going to, speed up that process, like I said, whether it's, high speed charging stations or whether it goes into, just swapping out batteries, whatever the case may be, we need something. I don't know what it is, but we need something. So, that's if you guys got any comments down in the comments section, let us know what you think about some of this stuff as well. So in the meantime, this is another one that I don't know. I'm confused about this one. We're going to talk about it on the other side. Let me let you guys listen to it first. I mean, I have the advantage of listening to all of these as I turn it into an audio file, but I want to get you guys' take on this. And then, I don't know, maybe some misconceptions or, lack of knowledge about well, we'll talk on the other side.
The scents and colors mosquitoes are drawn to. Research has found that mosquitoes are drawn to certain smells and colors. As the weather starts heating up this week, you may be tempted to go outside, but with the outdoors comes the possibility of getting bitten by mosquitoes. And if you find yourself getting a lot of mosquito bites, it could be because of the way you smell or the colors of the clothes you are wearing, recent research has found. If you think you are a mosquito magnet, it's probably the case. Jeffrey Riffel, a biology professor at the University of Washington who studies mosquito sensory systems, said in a video on the university's website released earlier this month. Some individuals are bitten way more than others. Riff-Vel has been working with a team of researchers to try to better understand how mosquitoes find food. Male mosquitoes drink nectar from flowers to get sugar, while females drink blood as a means to help with laying eggs. Mosquitoes are remarkably good at trying to locate a person to drink their blood, Riff-Vel said in the video. They are vampires, and they're very good at what they're doing. Their eyes, their vision, their nose, everything about them is geared towards finding us and biting us. Riff-Vel and his team discovered that female mosquitoes find humans by following a trail of scent cues, such as the chemicals humans exude from their skin and sweat and the carbon dioxide gas humans exhale when they breathe. According to the university's website, mosquitoes are also drawn to certain colors. They love red and black, Riff-Vel said in the video. But mosquitoes tend to dislike white and green, Riff-Vel added. Unfortunately, they can learn. If you are very attractive and they bite you and drink your blood, they will then go back to you because they learn this kind of positive association, Riff-Vel said in the video. The good news is that they can learn to avoid you. So if you're trying to swat them, they'll learn that, and they'll avoid you a little bit. Mosquitoes can detect 3 different types of sugar sources, University of Washington biology PhD student Melissa Leon Narena said in the video. One of those sources is fruits, and researchers are trying to create the scent that mosquitoes are drawn to. If the mosquitoes are attracted to that perfume, then researchers can lace it with a toxin that can kill the insects. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has called the mosquito the world's deadliest animal because the insects can spread diseases to humans, such as malaria, dengue fever, West Nile virus, and Zika virus. Research has found that climate change has led to an increased risk of mosquito-borne diseases. Last week, Southern Nevada Health District cautioned residents that the area was experiencing the highest level of mosquito activity in known history, with more than 3,000 mosquitoes testing positive for West Nile virus. The information that we're kind of developing and finding in the laboratory has real-world implications and can really help, I think, many people in many different parts of the world, Riff-Vel said in the video. Now back to the Coffee Time crew.
So, I mean, my first question is this. What purpose do mosquitoes serve in the ecosystem? I mean, they're not pollinating like bees. They're not pollinating, flowers and stuff like that. They're just, I don't know. I don't see a purpose for them. I know they're a big annoyance, and like they said in there, they're very, very deadly because of the way they spread this disease. Different places they do different things. I think I brought this up before. It's amazing to me down in Florida where they're really, really out of control. If you build a swimming pool, you literally have to put a net up around, if not your whole backyard, at least your pool. They want to make sure that, because what mosquitoes lay their larvae on still water. So they want to make sure that the mosquitoes can't get in there and reproduce on your pool, but again, I've been also told that mosquitoes can't see. So how are they attracted to colors? I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I'm not a scientist, but at the same time, we got to do something about these things that are, that can kill us. Especially if they have no purpose within the ecosystem. Like bees. A lot of people want to kill off the bees, but bees have a purpose.
Right.
I don't know what purpose a mosquito has. So, and then there's other folks that are, how can we say their immune system or whatever, their DNA, if they get bit, they could die, So, this is just crazy to me. If we could find a way, like they said, if you could figure out what scent it is that they really love, and then, turn that into, something that could actually, do away with them. I'm not mad at that. out here we use, it's crazy because they say they're attracted to citrus, right?
Right.
But we buy out here. I don't know if you guys have it back there, Carol, but they have like these citronella candles.
Yes, we have them.
I mean, we actually buy them like they're in a small bucket with 3 wicks. And you light all 3 wicks. And then you just set that, like on the table, where you're out there on the patio chilling, you set it on the table and it keeps them away. And that's what's crazy to me. Okay, if they're attracted to citrus, why are they running from the citronella? I mean, I don't know. Again, I guess that's just my ignorance and not understanding science to that level. So I know the bug zappers work. I've had bug zappers. I'm being honest, they only really work at night. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, ain't nothing like sitting in the backyard and listening to that thing of pow, 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 pow.
Right.
you know. Plus, I mean, I learned that with those as well, you don't put the bug zapper where you are.
No.
You're supposed to put the bug zapper on the other side of the yard. You want to attract them over there and away from you,
Right.
So,
That's right.
I mean, again, I don't know. You guys got mosquitoes down there real bad, Carol?
Oh, yes, we do. And we have it's a spray called Off here, and they've changed the scent to where it smells citrusy. It's not that kind of roach smell anymore. It's
Right,
like it smells pretty, you know, and
right.
and it's supposed to keep them away, but I mean, I don't get bit a lot, but I could be out in the same area with several people around me, and they're getting ate up.
Right.
So
And I guess that's what this research is trying to figure out what's the difference
what
between
is it?
Carol and the other folks she's hanging with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's
Uh,
right.
I do know. Like I said, the one big thing is people call it, different things, but like if you ever notice, like the rich folks and their mansions and stuff like that, their big old swimming pools and stuff, they often have a water feature that, could be somebody like it looks like they're a statue, looks like it's pouring water into the pool, or, you know,
Right.
the little humorous one where they got like a little boy peeing in the pool or whatever.
Right. Of course.
I mean, it's humorous, it's decorative, but what people don't realize, that creates waves on the surface of the pool to where the mosquitoes cannot lay their larvae. So, I mean, that's just another weapon in the fight against mosquitoes, So, I mean, if you're rich, you can let that thing run all day long. I mean, I'm sorry, the majority of us, we ain't got that kind of money. So, I mean,
No.
we might turn a pump on or a waterfall on and have it on for a couple hours a day, but we just can't afford to let that stuff run all day long.
No.
But I mean, I know I get bit a lot. I mean, they're not nowhere near as bad here. We don't have that much per se standing water, meaning that there's no motion in it, you know. But like you said, down there where you guys are, I guess I'm not that familiar with Texas myself, but my understanding is y'all got swamp land and all that, just like Louisiana, and just even down in Florida, whatever. That's a lot of standing water that has no motion.
Right. Right. We have a lot of man-made lakes, and even though there's not a lot of water around where I am, but mosquitoes are here
Right, because of the abundance of water in the region,
in the region.
and that standing water, So, I mean, again, I get bit a lot. When I go down to my daughter's and hang out with her, I'm respectful. I go out in the garage and do my smoking and vaping and stuff like that, and
Right.
but man, I get chewed up when I'm out there. I mean, they just everywhere. So
And it's not just us they bite the dogs. That's where the heartworms come from, where you have to treat your dog,
Right.
So they're bad. They're real bad. Sometimes they will spray and they'll tell you to bring your pet in, and they'll have like the big truck come through and spray the area, but it's certain areas that they spray, and they don't spray my area very often. And that's just because I'm in the hood. Uh, where compared to Highland Park or Lake Highland or ritzy areas, they're going to spray there for sure.
And it's funny. I remember back before my vision went totally away. I was living over in Rialto area, and trust and believe it's not a ritzy area, but it was. I was sitting in the backyard just chilling, and all of a sudden I look up. I hear these helicopters, and I look up, and they're actually flying in formation, but they're spraying.
Oh wow!
Now they said, that they were spraying for mosquitoes. I remember when we had that big fruit fly issue. So they said they were spraying for the fruit flies. There was other things that they included in that spray. I'm not going to get into, but it messed up a whole lot of people's crops. But come on, man. If that's what we got to do, then that's what we got to do. We
Right.
got to do something to combat these things that are going to kill us, or spread disease, So, I don't know. That's just my opinion about a lot of stuff. I'm always about trying, improve people's quality of life, preserving life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Eliminate that we can eliminate without doing our planet harm, I should say, right?
Right.
That's why I kept getting into, okay, my first thing was, what purpose does a mosquito serve in our ecosystem? You
Unless the
know,
birds eat them. Now I don't know if some birds eat them as food.
the only, what we want to call that I know of that eats mosquitoes and is on a very large diet of mosquitoes, bats.
Mm,
Bats eat mosquitoes. That's their
okay.
main. That's their
That's their
main.
main thing.
Yeah, that's their main thing. They come out when the sun goes down, and man, they just eat up tons of mosquitoes every night.
Right. Gotcha.
So but I don't know. Maybe some birds do. I don't know. Uh, I'm not that educated on this, so I'm scared to comment too far. You know.
Right. Right.
Uh,
And neither
uh,
am I. Some things I used to know, but a lot of things I'm not up on.
right. Well, on that note, got a couple more articles. I'm gonna try to get at least one more in. So let me see what I got here. Okay, this is something that we won't be able to see, but it's a once in a lifetime event, like that so-called eclipse that y'all had. Was it
In
earlier
Texas
this year?
down here.
Yeah. Although we know that's not a once in a lifetime event, the way it supposedly occurred was a once in a lifetime event, just like this one here. So we'll play it and then we'll talk about it for a few minutes on the other side.
NASA. Nova explosion to be once-in-lifetime event in night sky. The American Space Agency NASA says a huge star explosion is expected to light up the night sky later this year. NASA describes it as a once-in-a-lifetime event. The event is known as a nova. It happens when changes to a star cause it to release a large amount of energy and it becomes very bright. This activity is only temporary and such stars usually return to their normal state after experiencing a nova event. Astronomers have predicted the nova is likely to happen by September 2024. The expected event will involve a two-star system, called a binary system, in the constellation Corona Borealis, also known as the Northern Crown. This constellation is about 3,000 light-years from Earth. A light-year is the distance light travels in a year, about 9.5 trillion kilometers. The binary system is called T Caroni Borealis. It contains two gravitationally linked stars, a white dwarf and a red giant. NASA describes a white dwarf as the remains of an Earth-sized star that died. A white dwarf is formed when the star burns off all its central nuclear fuel and loses its outer layers. A red giant forms when a star releases large amounts of hydrogen at its center. This loss of energy causes the star to begin to collapse. But the process also increases the red giant's temperature and pressure, leading to new releases of energy that can affect nearby objects. Astronomers say a red giant's release of hydrogen in a binary system causes a heavy buildup of pressure and heat on the white dwarf. Over time, such buildup can cause a thermonuclear explosion, large enough to blast away the material the white dwarf had collected. This process differs from a supernova. NASA describes a supernova as an extremely bright, powerful explosion of a star. The main difference is that a supernova is the final destruction that happens at the end of a particular star's life. In a nova, the white dwarf remains active after the event. Scientists believe novas appear to repeat on average about every 80 years. NASA notes that nova events can keep happening for tens of hundreds or thousands of years. That is why the space agency called the upcoming nova a once-in-a-lifetime event. Scientists say the nova explosion will be so bright, people should be able to see the resulting light without telescopes or other special equipment. The bright light can make it appear as though a new star has formed in the sky. It will be at least the third time humans have witnessed a nova, the French news agency AFP reports. The event was first discovered by Irish astronomer John Birmingham in 1866 and then reappeared in 1946. Sumner Starfield is a professor of astrophysics at Arizona State University. He told AFP he was very excited to see the nova event. He has studied the T Caroni Borealis star system at different times since the 1960s. Starfield is currently working on a scientific paper to predict what astronomers will learn about the repeating nova whenever it shows up. It could be today, but I hope it's not. Now back to the Coffee Time crew.
So I guess because it's, like you said, there every 80 years, I guess it falls in that category where some of folks would only be able to witness it once. You know what I'm saying? I mean, most people don't necessarily live that long to see it twice, but
Right.
I guess in order to see it twice, you would not only have to live to be older than 80, but you would have to, you know, when that first one comes through, you got to be old enough to understand what's going on.
That's
You know,
true.
so, but I don't know, something else I always get to when it comes to stuff like this. You know, you hear all these explanations about why, right? All of
Right.
this, you know, nuclear energy and, you know, and the gases and stuff that these, you know, that's being released and all this other kind of stuff. I'm sorry. How do you know all of that by looking at it through a microscope? I'm
A
telescope in
telescope.
actuality. Right. You're just looking at the planet. You ain't got nobody up there taking samples or nothing. Okay. You know, but yet you are so knowledgeable about, you know, what this star, what this planet is made up of, right? But at the same time, you can't figure out how to fix a common cold.
Hmm.
You
It's
know what
like
I'm
the
saying?
old rap song, "Don't believe the hype."
You know, I mean, I don't know. Are y'all just making up shit because you know that we're not gonna get to one of them stars, and you know, I mean, not now anyway. Maybe somewhere down the future, you know. But again, I just don't understand how you can sit in a room somewhere on the planet and look at a star and say, "Oh, it's made out of helium. It's made out of you know this. It's made out of that. You know, the surface is covered with this type of mineral. As you know, its makeup is that type of material." How in the hell do you know all of that? I mean,
They don't.
you're
They
just looking
can't,
at it.
Ed. They
You,
can't.
you know, I mean, I don't know. I just, you know, but again, billions of dollars are going into this type of research, you know. And I bring that up because, again, billions of dollars are going into this kind of research. What could those billions of dollars do to improve the life of the people right here on the planet?
A lot.
You know, I mean, we got people all over the planet that are starving to death.
Starving, don't have a home, just laying on hot concrete.
Or hot dirt, rocks,
Yeah, rocks.
whatever, you know.
That's right.
You know, again, look at how many people just died on, where was that, in Mecca?
Right. That's right.
You know, a lot of people went out there for, you know, what they call it, I forget what it is, but I remember Malcolm
Like a
X one.
privilege or something, where they like a homage where they what do you
Right,
call it?
right. They had to go pay homage to Allah over
Hmm.
there, what they call them a
Right.
pilgrimage to Mecca.
Yeah.
You know, they have to make that pilgrimage once in a lifetime, you know, to be a true Muslim,
Hmm.
right? But
That's right.
again, I mean, from according to what I heard on the news the other day, over 100 people died because it was so hot.
So hot.
You know, come on now. I mean, this is something they've been doing every year for generations after generations. Now all of a sudden people are dying,
Right.
but there's nothing wrong. It's not climate change. It
That's what
is
they
what
say.
that's what they say. So, but again, uh, hey, for those to be able to see it, I imagine it'd be, quite an event. Just like for those that were able to see the eclipse. I mean, I'm sorry, in our community, I guess it doesn't really mean a lot to us.
No.
Maybe that lady from NASA that had that device that could,
Oh yes, where you
that
could
was
kind
right,
of
that was beeping once we got to the full eclipse. You know what I'm saying? It was like you said, it did the little sound thing as it was getting to full eclipse, and then
right.
once it started going the other way, the beep started increasing again. So I mean, maybe they can come up with something like that to where at least we would be able to hear it.
And I told you my color indicator, it did it. I have a color indicator and it has another button where it lets you know if the light is on or if the light is not.
Right.
So I mashed on it and it made that, as it got brighter and then as it got darker, it made that sound. So that's how I was able to witness something that I'm not unable to see.
Well, that was very creative. I mean, again, maybe the next time it happens, it'll be more common knowledge that we can use that device to make that happen for us. So,
Right.
but I mean, again, it's just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, when I think about, the stars and the planets and, all that stuff out there, you know, and then I think about us, we, I'm sorry, we can't be the only life form out there. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no.
I mean, if we are, what are we supposed to do? I mean, not necessarily, for those that are non-religious. I'm not trying to quote the Bible, but I mean, what are we supposed to do? Go forward, be fruitful and multiply. So, I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. Inhabit, the galaxies. I mean, I don't.
We don't have enough room right now on the planet with the ones we have here. So,
I mean, they haven't even found a planet that's truly sustainable for our life form. I mean, we'd have to do something to it in order to even to live there.
true.
So
That is true.
I mean, I don't know. It's just. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't believe in science. I do believe in science, but at the same time, we can't trust
Make it make
everything.
sense.
So anyway, we are definitely getting right here to the end of all of this. So if anybody got anything they want to say before we're done, now's the time. Brittany, anybody else commenting or whatever?
Nope, no comments.
Okay. Well, on that note, I am going to wish everybody a great day. Enjoy your tacos if you're able to get some today. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. I'll be right back, y'all.
Okay.